Hello and welcome back to Down the Track. We are continuing our previews for the IPL 2021 season. It is now Rajasthan Royals time. Musti and me will be analyzing this team and we'll be talking about the strengths, weaknesses, the ideal 11 and players to watch out for. Initial thoughts on Rajasthan Royals.
Rajasthan Royals have an
I know exactly what you're going to say.
What am I going to say?
They have 4 very good foreign players.
Yeah, exactly. But I was saying, I wasn't going to say that. I was actually going to say that Rajasthan Royals have the backing of the entire England nation. Every guy from Graham Swan to Michael Vaughan, I'm sure everybody's, Vaughan likes Mumbai, but you know what I mean? I think a lot of the English audience watching in England, they will have a keen eye watching this team because Butler and Stokes, I think they have Livingstone as well.
Archer too.
Archer, Livingston as well?
Yeah, I think so. Livingston as well. I think for sure Sam Billings, I think as well.
Yeah, man.
If I'm not wrong, Sam Billings as well.
Yeah, Livingston, I see him right there. I think even Sam Billings, Josh Butler, Jofra Archer. So I think this is a crazy team, man. Especially for Englishmen. But yeah, I think this team revolves around these 3-4 players. So, a new captain this year. I'm really excited to see how he does. Sanju Samson. Steve Smith has gone. He's moved on to Delhi Capitals. So how Sanju Samson handles this, I think the likes of Stokes and Butler will need to guide him. But a young Indian captain, I'll be very interested to see because Samson has had his own issues with inconsistency and everything. Will this responsibility make him into a more consistent batsman? Will he be able to handle these big players? Because some of these players are world class, right? So for a captain to handle these kind of players, it's going to be a bit different. It'll be a tough ask. So I'm very interested to see what Samson does as well. But yeah, Archer might miss a few games, but he'll come back probably in third, fourth game. And a big signing, Chris Morris, 16 crores is the most expensive in this auction. A lot of pressure on him as well. I think he will provide in the death overs what they were missing before. He can give that support to Archer, and he can provide with the bat as well. He'll balance this team a bit. There is some, of course, there are some weaknesses in this team. We'll talk about it as we go on, but. I'm really excited to see Ben Stokes, Josh Butler, Archer, and these are high quality players.
Absolutely. The one thing that strikes me about this team, it could come under the weakness bracket, is the fact that they have a new captain in Sanju Samson. We don't know how he is. We had that similar issue with KL in the last season, but problem is KL has played for India as well. Sanju hasn't played for India as much as KL has. So he's played around some of the very top class players. Sanju does that only in the IPL season. So it's a little bit tricky over there. And with just when you think of the foreign players that they have and the experience that they have in their team, they have a bunch of youngsters. Their foreign players are Stokes, Archer, Morris, and Butler. Apart from Butler, who is the vice captain of the England white ball cricket right now, the likes of Stokes, Morris, and Archer have not had captaincy stints per se, right? So the lack of support that we saw that KL might have the issue last season. A similar issue I'm seeing in this season for Rajasthan Royals because there's probably not that much support in the team over there when they're playing in crunch situations. We saw Punjab struggle in crunch situations last season. I have a feeling RR will do the same this season. The only reason I'm saying that is, yes, I don't think Butler is a very vocal guy. So when Butler is being told to do something, it's like if Morgan is doing something, he's doing it. Butler is not helping hand or anything. He will try to give in a few inputs here and there. But I just feel like all the other players, when I was setting this team up, I just didn't see any real leaders. Yeah. I'm not taking anything away from the fact that there are a good bunch of players, but I want to see someone like a leader who can really take this team forward. That I thought when I was creating my team, I missed that.
Yeah, and
so that's one of the issues that I saw with this team.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Stokes has been vice captain for England, but we haven't seen him lead. I think this team is more about lead from example. Like if Stokes can just take the game from the scruff of the neck, inspire the guys with his actions, I think that's how they will benefit. But you're right. Like, under pressure, you need somebody to guide. I think Stokes has to step up and play that leading role, to be honest with you. I know it's different. So. If you give him captaincy, the only issue is that, he's batting, bowling and fielding. It'll be too much on his plate, I feel. Butler, whereas he is keeping, but I think these guys can play the vice captain role well, both of them, Butler and Stokes, and they will have to step up because they will have to guide Samson because, Archer and Morris will be bowling. I think Stokes will be key communicating with these guys, and how Samson communicates with Stokes and Butler would also be important. So I completely agree. Exactly. And this is a team which can win on individual brilliance. Remember one thing, they had a poor season last season. I think they came last, if I'm not mistaken, but they had a poor season. but they beat Mumbai Indians convincingly. And it was a full Mumbai Indians team. I think maybe 1 or 2 players were missing, but it was a full Mumbai Indians team. And they beat them convincingly, chasing 180. Stokes scored that fantastic 100. So my point is they have some tremendous talent who can win games on their own. Now it's just about clicking together, like we talked about Punjab as well. And the bowling needs to step up. And Morris, I think he's the key to this, supporting Archer and bowling at the death as well.
I agree. I think that's exactly what we need to do. What they need to do is, and again, similar to Punjab, they have a few very good players, but they need contributors to step up as well. You saw in the last season, the likes of UNADKAT and Gopal were not good bowlers. They were not supporting Archer at all. Archer was the only guy who was bowling well. Everyone else was just they tried Tyagi, they tried a bunch of players, but they were not able to get that kind of support that they wanted. So I think the Morris's addition is very good in those lines, that it really gives you that that support that Archer is looking for. Archer is missing a few games, so that's going to be very interesting how they kind of base that as well. So that's some of the things that we'll have to see how they go about it in this season.
Yeah, and that's where captaincy is very important. You just talked about Untitled, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember when he got the purple cap?
Yeah.
He got plenty of wickets, and then he went for like so many crores. Who was his captain at that time he got the purple cap?
Where was he playing? I don't remember.
He was playing for Pune. Dhoni was his captain.
Pune, yeah.
So that's where captaincy is very important. That's where Dhoni is like a world apart. Because with these, he can make these players into match winners, into wicket takers. It's you can't expect anyone to do that. But that's where captaincy can play a part, and that's why Chennai is such a good team, because they do have weaknesses in their team as well. But Dhoni, with his leadership, he kind of erases those weaknesses. Over here, Unadkat is the same player, but he's not as effective. Maybe it's the guidance that he's getting. Maybe it could be that. But I agree with you. They'll need to step up. They'll have to. We saw it was just Archer. After that, there was no bowling to show up for them. I think Shreyas Gopal needs to step up with the ball. Spinners have been an issue. I think Markandeya is in this team, so he needs to play a bit more. I think Tewatia,
he was in the team last season as well, but I don't know why he didn't play that.
Because they played Tewatia and Gopal. So I think if Gopal doesn't work, they need to bring in Markandeya. I think Tewatia just blew away the tournament with that innings. So he's a good find there. He contributed, but he's one player. You need, and like 4 or 5 bowlers didn't show up. They need to show up and chip in. And I think that's why if Archer and Morris are both fit, I would play both of them. Because you have that firepower with your batting. So
absolutely.
Let's see how that goes. But I think till then they'll have to depend on Morris and play another foreign player. But I think you're completely right. And even with the bat, I think Samson needs to be more consistent. He needs to play that Surya Kumar role for Mumbai Indians, and he's very capable. This guy is very talented. He's just getting that consistency and hoping that he gets it this season.
Absolutely, I think I agree with you. I think in our initial conversation, we spoke about the strengths and weaknesses, so we can probably sum that up a little bit. The strengths obviously are the fact that they have fabulous batsmen and fabulous foreign players in Archer, Stokes, Butler, and Morris, who are world beaters. I mean, in the world of cricket, they're very good, and hopefully they can get some support, and we'll have to see how that goes. And in the weaknesses, obviously, is the captaincy issue and players stepping up on the day, and the bowling supporting them, which I don't think that they've gone out there and gone crazy with buying any bowlers per se. I was surprised that they didn't go for Umesh Yadav or something. Maybe just try a different angle. They have a similar kind of bowling lineup. Of course, Morris adds a little bit more steel in there. But the likes of, I had to bring in Gopal, Unadkat, Tyagi. They're still in my team, and these guys are the guys who got tonked around last season. So that is a little bit surprising for me. I thought that they'd go a little bit more bowling heavy, but they didn't do that. They went with a couple of guys that they bought for a lot of money. One of them, obviously, Morris, and the other one was who was it? Another 14 crore buy was someone else. But that's the reason I'm surprised that they didn't do that. They didn't go with 1 or 2 more Indian bowlers.
They got one bowler, bro. I just remembered. They got Mustafizur Rahman.
Yes, they did get Mustafizur, but how will you bring him in? He's a foreigner again. Yeah. How will you bring him in if you're going to play Archer, Morris, Stokes, and Butler? So that becomes tricky again. So that's the problem.
Yeah, I completely agree. Maybe they just they're trying to get Morris. They got Shivam Dubey as well, right? So maybe with these two if you play both of them in the team, that might take the load off. So there can be a bit less pressure on the captain as well. Like he can go with 7-8 options. And if the likes of Tyagi and UNADKAT have a poor game, maybe Dubey can bowl a couple of overs. Morris will bowl 4 for sure, I think, and Ben Stokes will bowl as well. And that's why Ben Stokes is so important, because he can contribute equally with the ball. He can pick up wickets as well, and how he bowls will be key for Rajasthan Royals, I think. So they have some bowlers who can batsmen who can bowl. That it can help them. It can be handy going into this tournament.
Absolutely, I agree with 100% with that. Let's go into the ideal 11.
Yes, sir.
For me, Jaiswal and Butler to open. I think that they should just go with that, because Jaiswal is a gun player. I think he's future Indian prospect. I think he has a lot of talent. I think that they should stick with him this season. The likes, you've seen the likes of Mumbai. Investing in their future players, and Kolkata investing in their future players, Sunrisers to an extent investing in their future players. So that they should, Rajasthan should also go that route and invest in Jaiswal. I think that will give them merit in the later season. So Jaiswal and Butler, Sanju at 3, Stokes at 4, Dubey at 5, Morris at 6, Tewatia at 7, Archer at 8, and you can probably bring in Fizz till he is ready. Mustafizur will be probably the guy who would play till Archer is ready. Yeah. And then finish it off 9. Yeah. Gopal, Unadkat and Tyagi at 9, 10 and 11.
Yeah.
And they have the likes of Markande who can come in if Gopal doesn't perform. Or if they want a little bit more spin, you just remove Tyagi and bring in Mayank. So you can do something like that.
So you're not playing Dubey in your team?
No, Dubey's at 5.
5 and
I missed out.
6?
Yeah, I missed out on Parag. I want to bring Parag in this team, but I couldn't bring him in because I wanted a little bit more stability. And then at 6, Morris is a very capable number 6, and Tewatia has shown that he's a capable number 7. So, and he gives you a couple with the ball as well. So that's why I couldn't bring Parag in my team. I don't have the place for him. Maybe if Dubey doesn't work, then they probably consider Parag. But I have Dubey at 5. So
Morris at number 6. You're confident?
I think that's fair. I think Morris is pretty decent at 6. Yeah.
Because
unless you want to bring Parag at 6 and then you play Morris at 7, Tewatia at 8.
But I understand where you're coming from. You're trying to strengthen the bowling. You're trying to strengthen the bowling.
Because they need the couple of bowlers. They need a couple extra bowlers.
Yeah, no, so I completely agree. I was just looking because I think, to be honest, if Morris doesn't perform at 6, you can put Tewatia at 6 and Morris at 7 also. You can go that way as well. It's just that I know Morris can hit the big shots, but if he has like 6, 7 overs, how does he bat? I'm not sure. I haven't seen him bat that many overs, but it's worth a try, I think, because you need to shore up the bowling for sure, because that's been your weakness. But apart from that, man, look at that top order. Unbelievable. Stokes, he opened the batting last season. This season, you're saying probably one down because against
4. Number 4 is his spot.
You're going 4.
I'm going number 4. Yeah.
For number 1 down, you're going Samson. Yeah.
Yeah. Sanju's at 3. So for me, number 4 is Stokes' spot. I don't think he should be tinkered around too much. I think he can come in if he needs to step up the pace in the end. He can do that. If he needs to come in the 5th over and handle the pressure, he can do that as well. Like I was talking about Puran, right, in our Punjab talk, when Puran is probably the kind of guy, but I think Stokes is already that guy. I'm not worried. Will Puran be that guy or not is what we will have to see in the season. Yeah. But I think Stokes is one of the top quality all-rounders in world cricket right now. So, he's a gun. If he can perform this season, and he's my player to watch out for also. If he can perform this season, I think RR can make the finals, So
he's key.
The problem is, can he? Can he? We have not seen.
And the reason
for the blowout season, I'm saying we have not seen him have a blowout season. We've seen him in flashes. We've seen 1 or 2 really good innings, but we haven't seen him like have consistent games in the RR colors.
Yeah, and I think that's where other people need to chip in as well, take some pressure off him. But he'll single-handedly win you games, even if he's not in form. He'll win you games. But
I agree.
If he has a stellar season, then yes, I think you're right. They can go far. A lot will depend on him. And to be honest, I don't mind playing him 1 down against like a Mumbai and just go all out aggressive. I really don't mind that. But that'll depend on the combinations. I agree why you're going 2 down as well, because it gives some backing at the because he can play the death overs then as well. If Butler and Stokes get out early, then it exposes the Indian middle order, which maybe is not the most experienced, and that's where Sanju Samson comes into play. And that's why I'm saying he needs to play a Surya Kumar kind of role. He has really good support with him, and if he can be consistent, I think they can hit 200 consistently this team. So that's why I think he's very important.
I agree. I think that's exactly what they need to do. I think there's a lot of scope in this team.
Yes,
Will they make that top 4 or no? Is the question. Your thoughts? Are they making top 4 or no?
I initially had them top 4, but then the Archer's injury, I took them out of the top 4. So for now, I'm going to take them out. But when Archer back, if he's fully fit fighting, then they're in contention again. But right now, I'm not keeping them in the top 4. I think because just because I think he will. He's just incredible as well. Like the impact that he gets in a T20 game is next to none. I haven't seen a fast bowler impact a T20 game like this in a long time.
Will he be fully fit and ready to go also as soon as he's back? That's another question.
Yeah, because the thing is,
he misses.
You know what happened, right? The fish tank.
Yeah, he put unfortunate incident over there.
And that's why when the ball hit him, it hurt so much.
Yeah, he played with the oh, that's painful. But hopefully he comes back fit and ready. And because irrespective of whatever team he plays for, he's always good fun to watch. He's an incredible bowler. So
and the impact he has with the new and old ball is unbelievable. Like and he picks up wickets consistently. Not only is he hard to play, he's not somebody like you can just block out, because he'll get your wicket if you try to do that. So that's why he's
absolutely
such a key bowler. If he's fully fit and ready to go, even if he comes in the 4th, 5th game, I think it's a huge advantage for Rajasthan. And with Morris there, it's even better. Like it'll be a crazy combination.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun to see how he can perform in this. The only thing is he's going to miss 4 games, I believe, and then I don't know what the quarantine scene will be. If Rajasthan can nick 1 or 2 games without him, I think that they'll be a lot more confident going in with him. Yeah.
The spinners, man, you have to watch out for the spinners. If they don't perform, it's going to be difficult, because these pitches will provide more assistance. Maybe that'll benefit them, because maybe Dubai wasn't as good for them as these pitches are. They're more used to the likes of Tewati and Gopal are used to playing on Indian pitches. So if they have to pick up wickets, man, because the 8 overs that they were bowling, they were getting hit for like almost 100 runs, like 80, 90 runs, and they weren't picking up wickets. If you pick up wickets, even if you're going for like 70, 80, it's fine, but you need to pick up wickets. They weren't picking up wickets, and that's what they need to change this season. The middle orders, the middle overs, the spinners need to contribute with the wickets.
I agree 100%. I think that's going to be key. So we'll see how they go. For me also, I think that they will miss top 4. Unfortunately, I think the captaincy issue will be a problem. And of course, it could completely change if their foreign players can consistently perform. But I think that we saw it with Punjab last season. I think that we'll probably see a similar route with Rajasthan this season. But we'll see. It remains to be seen what happens. But as for right now, I think that they missed my top 4.
Yeah, no, fair
again
enough.
Under new management as well. Andrew McDonald was let go again under new management. So that as well is again new ideas, new strategies. It takes a little time to get used to that stuff as well. So so that's probably my new captain, new management. We'll see how that goes.
It could take a toll on them. But I just looking at the squad, like quick glance, they do have backup in Andrew Ty and David Miller as well. So I think that will be,
of course,
they have some good backup. But again, it's the front 4, the 4 foreigners who are going to start. They're going to be key throughout the season.
100%. Looking forward to it.
Watch out for
Stokes.
Stokes.
I can't see anybody else. I mean, when I see that team and I see Stokes, it's Stokes. That's it.
Yeah, for me, I mean, he's my he's actually Butler is my favorite player, to be honest with you. I love the way he gets. Like, he's just unbelievable. To be honest, I don't even right now he's the cricketer. Like AB, everyone loves him, but for me, Butler is like, I don't know. It's just the ability. If you watch one of his videos with Flintoff, they do a 6 hitting competition, and his wrist is just the way he clears the boundary is just crazy. But the player for me to watch out for is Sanju Samson. Captaincy, batting, everything. He needs to get back into this Indian team because he has that talent. And I think this season for him. And, it could go south, man. If they start losing games and stuff, there could be issues. How he handles these foreign players, how they gel together, that'll be very important. He looks like a good guy. He looks like calm. I'm sure. I don't know if he has a short fuse or not. He looks like a calm guy who can handle it. But it's still a lot of pressure as a batsman and captain, because it doesn't matter who you have in your team. You need to learn how to handle it. And if you can't, it can be a challenge. You can say that Ben Stokes will win you games, but at the same time, you need to handle Ben Stokes as well. So it's a challenge in itself. And I want to see how he takes those responsibilities, and will that impact his batting in a positive or negative way. So for me, it's Sanju Samson.
Yeah, I think that's a fair point as well. Looking forward to Rajasthan as well, but I just think that they'll miss out on top 4. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you so much, and catch you soon.
Yeah, take care.
Take care.